Alright guys, welcome back to episode 6 of our Tech Talk session. And today's star of the show is actually a flagship killer, sort of, that we have here, and that's actually called the Poco F8 Ultra. Now just in case you guys are seeing this video for the very first time, the Tech Talk podcast is not going to be filled with a lot of B-rolls. It's just going to be me sharing a couple of my top of mind, which I do have a couple of thoughts regarding this device, and I'll share them in today's very quick video. Now, first things first, if you are someone who wants to have a taste of Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 and you have a tight budget, let's say under 3,000, maybe around 2,700 ringgit, yep, RM2799 is the price where the Poco F8 Ultra is coming in, at least for our Malaysian market. Guys, this is an absolute steal. Okay, let's just put things into some context. I do have another device that's very similar to my Poco, and that's actually this Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. Now, they are extremely identical, not just in terms of the chipsets. Obviously, the camera is not as great as this guy, but they come extremely close. So that's why I'm saying, if you are looking for a flagship performance, very strong Geekbench, Antutu scores, if those kind of stuff matter to you, or maybe you are a gamer who plays a lot of graphic intensive games, definitely you want to get something that has the strongest performance. And again, that's where you're going to circle back to the Poco F8 Ultra. I personally have been gaming a lot. I'm going to be honest with you, I play a lot of Honor of Kings, Mobile Legends, and a bit of COD Mobile. So I'm not really the Genshin Impact kind of player where you really need those intensive graphics. For me, HOK, MLBB, they work particularly well on a lot of devices already. But on this device here, it's just ever bit so smooth, and it's also more stable. By stable, I mean we have a more consistent frame rate, and that's the kind of performance you're going to expect from the Poco F8 Ultra. Now, just in case you're wondering about the other flagships out there, just for a price perspective, other flagships like Vivo and Oppo, they're using the Dimensity chipset, so you won't be able to get the Snapdragon goodies. If you look at the next Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, that's going to be our very good friend here, which is the OnePlus 15. Now, this device is going for RM4399, and that puts this Poco instantly at a very affordable and attractive price point. Now, since I mentioned in my previous video, the OnePlus 15 hasn't got great cameras, I would say camera-wise, they are quite evenly stacked, although I might just give the OnePlus a slight edge in terms of the main sensor, just the kind of colors. But if you're looking for a telephoto lens, now this is where again Poco has upgraded their camera game. This time round, they're taking things quite serious. The main sensor is blah blah Light Fusion 950. But long story short, it's the same model as the one on the Xiaomi 17, and that's saying quite a lot because it's a fairly large sensor, 1/1.31 inches, even bigger than the OnePlus 15. And you also have that 5 times telephoto lens that I think is actually a very similar sensor to the one on the Xiaomi 15T Pro, which we have already tested out on the channel. It does pretty decent, I would say. Not the greatest out there, but good enough for a mid-range kind of telephoto. And you also have a final 50 megapixel ultra wide that gives it a triple 50 megapixel combo for its camera. Now, if you're just wondering, like apart from the OnePlus 15, what other Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 devices out there? Yeah, you can move further up and actually get the Honor Magic 8 Pro. But again, these are all really focused on the full entire ecosystem, the entire experience. But if you want to get that kind of similar, I wouldn't say exactly the same, it's still a slight rank lower than those, then I would say save some money and you might want to consider the Poco F8 Ultra. Another good thing about this device here is that it comes with a 6500 mAh battery. Guys, it's so slim. Okay, not the slimmest phone out there. I have my Edge with me and that totally blows this out of the water. But slimness levels, 6500 mAh is more than double that I get on my S25 Edge. It also comes with 100 watts fast charge, and hear this out, a 50 watt fast wireless charging. Just to give you a bit of a heads up, the fast wireless charging requires you to have a certain charger, which obviously we do not get in the box. You might have to purchase that separately, so think of it as an extra expense. Don't just take it for granted and just put it on any wireless charging pad and expect to get 50 watts straight out of it. But either ways, battery life has been great so far on this guy. Another thing that I really like about the Poco F8 Ultra is that you're going to be getting the Xiaomi HyperOS. And again, like I said, the experience is extremely similar to the Flagship 17 Pro Max from Xiaomi. Just take a look at that. It's almost identical in terms of the performance. So in terms of the display, you're getting a 6.9 inch. It's a large display, 120 Hz, nothing too out of the ordinary. The good thing is that it can hit 3500 nits of maximum brightness. In case you are outdoors occasionally, this will help you out. And finally, the new party trick is actually situated right beside those camera lenses. Can you see that? It has this so-called mini subwoofer in here and has its sound powered by Bose. Now, personally, listen to this on the speakers themselves. They do feel a bit richer and more punchier compared to your typical smartphone speakers. But if you say that this is going to replace an entire Bluetooth speaker, well, I would say it hasn't reached that stage yet. But for a smartphone, the sound on here is actually really, really good. Sorry about that, the dryer is calling me. So yeah, you have those really nice speakers on here, very good haptics. Overall, I think this is a great package device. I think this is the best Poco device that they have produced to date. Obviously, since this is their latest flagship, the F8 Ultra, I think is moving Poco one step further higher to becoming the proper flagship killer. The cameras are not there yet, but it's getting closer, and you can see that Poco is putting in a lot of effort to actually make this happen. One quick note before we end, I just want to highlight very quickly about the build quality of this latest Poco. It feels really good, and again, it's making it closer to the feeling of a flagship phone. Just take a look at this fully blacked out Poco F8 Ultra. I mean, if you guys want to choose a really cool colorway, you might want to go with this. There's also the denim looking one, but personally, I haven't held that in person. So far, we have this really blacked out look, and you know, black's my favorite color. Not being biased, but this is an absolute joy to actually own. So yeah, let me know what you think about the Poco F8 Ultra. Is this something that you will actually be getting really soon? I'll try to do a full review in a week or two because I'm still testing out the device. But yeah, let me know what you want me to test out, and if you are excited for this guy, let me know your comments down below. Please let me know if this is going to be your next flagship killer, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Do take care, enjoy your phones, and I'll see y'all. Bye bye.